Good morning to all of you and welcome to the session. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, AP Stampede. All our students know the meaning of the word stampede. What is stampede? Whenever there is a chaotic situation, imagine a lot of people gathered at one place and some problem, someone says there's a bomb or there's a snake, that results in confusion. And there's only one exit. So many people try to go out through that particular exit. That results in again a chaotic situation, and some people may fall, others may step on them, and they may die because of suffocation. That whole thing is called stampede. And today's editorial is all about how often they happen, what are the measures to be taken. AP Stampede, crowd control norms soon in temples. What is required here to avoid stampedes? We need some norms, standards. Yes, Pravalika. Stampedes also happen because of surge, sudden forward movement of people. Yes, Vishnu. Control norms soon in temple. Crowd control norms means crowd control standards soon in temples. They are going to introduce. Coming to the next one, poll campaign. When you see the word campaign, you have to think of canvas, canvassing, campaigning, all the words that go with elections. Jobs will be brought to Bihar only by NDA, Prime Minister. At the time of campaigning, Prime Minister has made a statement saying that all the jobs will be brought to Bihar only by NDA, poll campaign. Coming to the next one, incident in UK train, two held over mass stabbing attack. It seems never heard of this. Stabbing usually goes with what exactly does it mean? Stab means you take a knife and you try to kill someone. That is called stabbing. Usually, stabbing is one person tries to kill another person using a knife. We use the word stabbing, but mass stabbing, never heard of that. For the first time, I suppose. And where did it happen? In the UK. Here, based on the headline, they may drop the definite article, the. Hold, held, held. Very good. Two held over mass stabbing attack. Mass stabbing means stabbing many people. Coming to the next one, diplomatic ties, diplomatic relations. Engage the Taliban, don't recognize them. Some writer says engage them means involve in discussions, deliberations, but don't recognize them. India should adopt a long term approach. So don't be hasty in a way the writer wants to tell. Pete Hegseth, US China planned direct military channels related to defense strategic studies. They plan direct channels, it seems, military channels. You have to read to understand. I guess that is the last one, snippets. And coming to the headline, something many Indians feel very happy. Cricket lovers, especially. What does it say? Indian women script history, win World Cup. Some of you must have watched the final match also between South Africa and India. India won the finals. And for the first time, based on that, Indian women's script means write history, create history, win World Cup. You can see the players so happy, jubilant, and they must have felt extremely happy. Adopt, adapt, adapt. Yes, very good. Divya, I appreciate that. US may attack to save Christians in Nigeria. Trump. Trump's statement, he says in Nigeria, it seems Christians are being attacked. If that continues, they are going to attack Nigeria. Maiden, for the first time, Maiden, very good. Who is this? Aditya Reddy and Naidu also. Wonderful. Coming to 15 people killed as van smashes into trailer truck. Collides a trailer truck, smashes into. Same thing. And 15 people killed, big number. Battling floods, Kagaria voters demand change. It seems that region, blissful, you can think of that word. And bliss means extreme happiness. Coming to this one, a particular region, people of that region experiencing some sort of some problems because of floods, and they want to make that an issue. Barring MP, Leh has no elected representatives. Barring MP means not considering the member of parliament, Leh does not have public representatives. That's how you have to look at the snippet. Coming to the next one, meeting of parties from Tamil Nadu decides to move the SC against SAR. I think it goes with SAR. SAR has become, you have to recollect all those, an MP, an MLA, an SP, an X-ray, an FIR. And it goes with, SAR has become highly controversial. I have done a few editorials, you all know that. Against that backdrop, meeting of parties from Tamil Nadu decides to move the Supreme Court against SAR. Coming to space technology, always important. ISRO launches advanced GSAT S7R, India's heaviest communication satellite. Communication satellite. You have to read that, very important. Anything related to space, India is doing extremely well. You have to read and develop contextual awareness, learn the lexical terms, word combinations, word usage, all these dimensions. That will help in the long run. What is today's editorial about? A familiar context, but there are some important words you can learn and important patterns. What is this about? Stampedes. And you know, if you read the newspapers, based on sleeps, very good. Who is this? Your name sounds a little different. Shu Gui. I'm not quite sure the correct pronunciation of or wrong pronunciation. And I'm not able to make the letters also. And coming to, that's good, belongs to socio-cultural problems. And usually, if you look at the pattern, the stampedes, how they have been, where they have happened, how often they have happened, what are the reasons behind. But when you ask the question, where, usually religious congregations, stampedes happen. And how to prevent, obviously, you should guess the broad framework. Where do they happen? How often do they happen? What are the reasons behind? How to stop these stampedes? What are the solutions? Depressing pattern. There's a pattern. What is that pattern? All these stampedes happen at religious places, and that is depressing. Depressing, making you unhappy. Any gap between guidance and practice can cause a crowd crush. Gap between guidance and practice. Some norms are required, some, you can use that word also. Very good, Naidu. Any gap between what? Guidance and practice. Guidance is required when large number of people gather, and when it comes to practically dealing with the crowd, it's a special thing. Crowd management, not easy. And standard norms should be in place and they should be implemented in a stringent manner. Can cause a crowd crush. Otherwise, what happens? Many people die. To provide the backdrop information, a recent stampede incident in Andhra Pradesh, Srikakulam district, I suppose. Against that backdrop, this has been written. Let us see how it goes. Sadly, the Srikakulam crowd collapse that occurred in a private and unregistered temple on a day when high footfall was expected is hardly surprising. Hardly surprising means what? Not surprising, something like expected. When it's a small temple, thousands of people go there, only one entrance, come exit, obviously it results in stampede. So it is not surprising. Sadly, the Srikakulam crowd collapse that occurred, where did it happen? In a private and unregistered temple, on a day when high footfall was expected, is hardly surprising. Reports indicate that there was one combined entry and exit. This is a problem. In your district, Naidu, okay. And it talks about only one entry come exit. That is the actual problem. Reports indicate that there was one combined entry and exit, public use of an under construction area, inadequate stewarding. Here, stewarding means guiding, controlling the crowd. Steward has a different meaning, but in this context, something like guiding, controlling, providing, giving the tips how to move about and how to go further, darshan, all those dimensions. Inadequate stewarding, severe capacity overshoot, and weak infrastructure. All these are problems, obviously. All these talk about the reasons behind the unfortunate incident, the stampede. One is combined entry and exit, public use of an under construction area, still being constructed, inadequate stewarding, not sufficient, severe capacity overshoot. Capacity 1,000, 10,000 people visited. That is, then we say capacity overshoot. And weak infrastructure. The Hathras crowd crush in 2024. Now the writer provides us with what happened in the past, where did they happen? The Hathras crowd crush in 2024 followed an event where permission was reportedly given for only a third of the crowd that attended, and investigations cited inadequate exits and gaps in planning and supervision. Another incident in 2024, and they gave the permission for, let us say, 1,000. Out of 1,000, they gave permission for 1,000, but 3,000 entered. That resulted in stampede. For only a third of the crowd that attended, and investigation cited inadequate exits, that is always a problem, and gaps in planning and supervision. One more incident, the 2011 Sabarimala crush also revealed systematic weaknesses in circulation control on a day with predictable surges. What is the meaning of surge? Sudden increase, spike, surge, hike. But surge means sudden increase in something, and a trigger that became lethal due to constrained pathways. Lethal means what? Deadly. Generally, we use lethal weapons. Yes, Pavani, you have to recollect CITE site, SIGHT site, CITE, SITE site. All the three words. Constrained pathways. It is sheer common sense when there is only one exit come, entry come exit, and it takes about 100. There are 10,000 people. Obviously, that is not going to, results in a disaster. Yes, Naidu, very good. So many words you have come up with. All of you have a look at the comment box. You can enrich your vocabulary. Constrained means restricted pathways. These incidents, now the writer has provided us with incidents that happened in the past, and all both the incidents, religious places and stampede. Based on that, these incidents had different proximate triggers. Proximate means close, and close proximity a common error. Proximity means closeness, and close proximity redundant expression. Proximate triggers, but the same causes of failure. Triggers may be close, but same causes of failure. What are those causes of failure? Reciprocal pedestrian flows and shared gates means exit entry, same path. One side people entering, one side people going out. Exit, reciprocal pedestrian flows and shared gates, weak physical public infrastructure, and a lack of real-time density monitoring. This is also very important. They have to keep monitoring the density, how many people are coming, and if the number is going up, they have to do something immediately. Number is going down, then they can relax to some extent. Monitoring is very important. Real-time density monitoring. India already has guidance to anticipate these failures. It seems we have guidance. India has already guidance to anticipate, predict these failures, including the 2014 National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA guidelines, and the National Building Code, NBC. We have certain norms in place, but the question is whether they're being implemented or not. Indian authorities have already demonstrated a feasible path from guidance to operations, including in recent Sabarimala seasons and with integrated command and control center operating at Tirumala. It seems the Indian authorities have already demonstrated, present perfect active voice, have already demonstrated what? A feasible path. What is the meaning of feasible? Possible, practical. Feasible, possible, practical. Path from guidance to operations. There are two things here. When it comes to crowd management, one is guidance, the other one practical implementing operations, including in recent Sabarimala seasons and with the integrated command and control center operating at Tirumala. Already proven they are able to manage. This includes licensed plans compliant with. Many of our students know what does it mean. Comply with means to adhere to stick to follow, abide by. Compliant with NDMA or NBC prescriptions, calculated occupancy, certified structures that prevent bidirectional flows, real-time density control by trained stewards, and real-time communications and crowd analytics. All these are required before going in for or before anticipating large crowds. The persistence of stampedes is due to, then why do they happen? The persistence means the persist exists for a long time. The persistence of stampedes is due to the gap between guidance and enforced practice. Guidance is there, but practice, implementation, enforced, there's a gap between guidance and enforced practice. Second part talks about that almost 80% of stampedes in India occur at religious gatherings or pilgrimages. You all know the word pilgrimage, pilgrim. As a smart learner, you have to recollect all the words related to religion. And you should have a word map, words related to religion. Then it becomes easy to remember and recollect. All these incidents happen, 80%. Where do they happen? Stampedes. Religious congregations occur at religious gatherings or pilgrimages is not coincidental. It's not a coincidence. There's a pattern, and we have to find out the reasons behind and provide a solution. Pilgrim and congregational events. I have used this word. Congregation means what? Gathering. Large gathering, we use the word congregation. Pilgrimages is not coincidental. Pilgrim and congregational events. What is the meaning of congregation? Congregation means a huge gathering. Yes. Events often proceed without any license that ties permission to a crowd safety plan that can be tested for compliance. It seems they do it without any license. That is definitely not acceptable. Without any license that ties permission to a crowd safety plan that can be tested for compliance. Authorities often infer the capacity from the space available rather than what can be estimated from egress, a word we have got for the first time. Have you heard of this any time? How do you pronounce this? Egress. Egress means exit, leaving, departure, leaving a particular place. You have to think of words like exit, departure, leaving. Usually what happens, authorities, it seems they plan based on the capacity. The capacity is 1,000, they plan accordingly. But what the writer says, they should plan on anticipated number. Imagine on a particular occasion, though the capacity is 1,000, they may think 5,000 people may visit. Accordingly, they have to plan. We have never come across this word. Authorities often infer the capacity from the space available rather than what can be estimated from egress options and evacuation times, tolerate bad or no gating plans, accept temporary barricades without certified load ratings, and do not cordon off, means block areas with construction materials. All these are lapses on the part of the authorities or the officials. They have to take into consideration all these. They have to keep in mind all these dimensions, like estimated from egress options and evacuation times, tolerate bad or no gating plans. They should not tolerate. Accept temporary barricades without certified load ratings. They should not accept all these things. Barricades, cordon off. Usually when a VIP comes, the police, they try to put up barricades. They try to cordon off a particular area, means others cannot enter. And do not cordon off areas with construction materials. Public safety is a process and its absence, including during crowding disasters, is rarely due to single point failures. It is not due to single point failures. Many reasons, many factors behind. These disasters, the writer says, not because of one particular factor, many factors. The Srikakulam incident aligns with a known risk pattern, and only disciplined adoption of the country's own codes enforced by licensing will reverse it. It goes with a pattern, and once we have norms in place, we follow the norms, then only then we can prevent these stampedes. India also needs a policy culture that treats religious events as engineered systems requiring licensing and auditing. Auditing also, that is a good thing. The main idea is being reiterated. India also needs a policy culture. There should be a policy in place that treats what religious events as engineered systems, and these engineered systems require licensing and auditing. Now, people are doing without license, and there's no auditing as such. It ends on that note. An important editorial, very important in the sense it goes with socio-cultural problems and the lives of people at stake, and it has been going on for quite some time, and there's a pattern, and frequent events, stampedes have become rather off late. Frequency has gone up. Definitely you may get as a passage in the exam, may not be the same thing, but in a way related to this, either passage or close test, chances are very bright. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.